something. Some kind of a technology glitch, usually. Vicky, I don't know if... a different microphone. No sound at all. appreciate it. Otherwise, seems like I always seem to have some kind of a glitch. How about now? Any sound? Any of you guys? If you could post in the comments, I'd appreciate it if I have sound. Otherwise, we'll end up restarting. Okay. How about now, Don? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, this one's back on, so. Alright, sorry about that. Thank you, Don. So we're going to press a few other things. But if you do go on our Facebook page, you'll see that you get a free license plate with any purchase over $75. We do also offer license plate frames, so we're going to press one of those right now. And that would keep you can keep your press fairly full. You can put multiple items on there. Again, medium pressure, 345 is what we recommend. These are 22 gauge steel, but all of our blanks are steel. All made in America steel. We do lots of wind spinners. So we got, I think we added up the other day about 6 different sizes of wind spinners. So definitely check those out. Of just the blanks, we have some really cool cross blanks. We do have some digital designs that you can download. We'll talk here just while we're waiting just about paper. So if you have some smaller printers, instead of like we have longer printers or longer, bigger printers, you can actually print it all in one and then fold it. If you do not have that big of a printer, you could actually just tape the two pieces together. Okay. If you have any questions, definitely post them in the comments. Even if it's later, if you're watching this later, post them and we'll get back to you. I'll put our phone number in there if you ever have any technical questions. If you are interested in wholesale, so let's say that you have your own store and you do press your own items, but you want to add to that and you like some of our items, we have roughly 1,200 plus images of our own in our own catalog. You can reach out directly to me. There's my office phone number. So if you're looking for wholesale, you can also go right onto our website and apply for wholesale. If you're just buying cottage blanks, you don't need to have a wholesale account because that's basically all they're for is resale, because they're white. We do have some that are clear, but if you're interested in wholesale of our existing items, you know, definitely shoot me an email or give me a call. Few other ones as we're waiting for the press to go off. We do have a two-tone wind spinner, which is kind of cool. The outside flashes a little bit more. We do have scallops. Definitely would encourage you to try those out. Something a little different, different shape. We're going to be pressing some of those next for a friend of mine. There's some Christmas gifts that he's given away. So we'll kind of show you those. Lots of different things that you can do with them. as far as these scallops, but it could be used as a coaster, could be used as wall art that's just screwed to the wall, could be used as signage. A little bit big for a necklace, but could be used for lots of different things. Ornaments, state shapes. If you don't see your state, definitely again reach out to us. Minimums are 12. Camper shapes, kind of a cool thing there. Here's another smaller ornament, 3-inch. You know, leaves. We've got lots and lots of different ones, different leaf shapes. Corey, got any words of wisdom that you want to share with the group? Digital designs. We got some new digital designs maybe we'll be putting up. I just showed them the camper receiver hitch covers. Got some license plate designs coming off here. Need to get some more digital designs up, but there are some that are free out there. That turned out really nice. So if you have a purchase of over, I think it's $100, you get this for free, plus you get a blank with anything over $75. Not sure why it showed those extra holes. Oh, I slid it. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to talk about. Thank you for that, Corey. So here's a Fighting Sioux one that we're doing for a customer of ours. But while I was talking, I slid the paper. So if you look real closely, right on the R, there's a silhouette or a ghosting kind of the hole. So the paper slid when I was yakking, trying to put my gloves on. And so it's very minute, but even, yeah, you can see just a slight shadowing now that I look closer around the star. So just try to avoid that. So dragging the part. I'm going to put some scallops on here. Again, what we do, we have a Nomax pad on the bottom, and then some craft paper. If your printer is like longer like ours, sometimes you might have to rearrange things a little bit to get them to fit on the printer. So we put the print first. And then the part. And then the craft paper. And if you don't want lines on the back, just put down a fresh piece of paper. But those are some scallops that we're going to press next. Kind of this, I think it's almost 6 inches across, so there's a lot of cool things that you can do with that. But yeah, that ghosting was kind of a fun little conversation thing to talk about, because it's like you can, with the paper being hot, kind of let it slide, and then it touched down, and that it still kind of transferred some of that ink. Here's some things that we did last time, or some fish. So we do have some blanks that are clear. So it's actually painted with a clear powder coat, and then we actually grind it. We have some relief cuts, so it gives it that character there, that definition. These have been selling really well, the display stands. If you can see that here, with the wind spinner motor and the stand, you can put your wind spinners on their display. Comes with some nice instructions. They bend flat. Thank you, Don, for joining the group. Don is somebody that'll help us out with if you ever have any technical issues as far as needing help with templates, things like that. Corey's another one. If you call in, Corey's wonderful at helping people. Corey's worked here about 15 years. I think Don's going on 2.5, 3, but who's counting? Wish you guys a happy holidays. So definitely, if you're still looking for gifts, a couple other kind of fun things that actually been selling very well is we do have, for those people that are hard to shop for, is we have a new girl and a wrench for those guys that have their shops or garages, and then this can be customizable. So that is something that we're offering, but you can buy these blanks also. Here's another just example of how we paint things white and then clear on the bottom. So for example, on this particular mermaid, you can see where we've hand ground the tail, and then the top is white, so you get more of that very vibrant dye sublimation image. Great for photographs, things like that. So that's where a lot of our wind spinners, like this particular one, where it's white. This is a 4x6 roughly, so you could put a photograph in the center, and then your words and picture will be extremely vibrant. Should make some examples of ones with photographs, but here's one here that basically you can see how vibrant this image is. Let's talk about bending a wind spinner. It's just going to be flat when you press it, and you literally just take your thumbs and bend it out about 3/4 of an inch. And we got lots of different sizes from 3 inches to 3 feet. All right, we'll grab that off the press. Gloves on. Best thing you want to do is kind of flip these over right away. It's like I said earlier, try to not do what I did last time and let the part slide. So here's a buddy of mine. Here's some cool gifts, coaster type things that he's going to be doing, just images from the year. So for those of you that don't have a lot of graphic experience, it's really simple to just take some photographs and put them right on something that's really simple, like the scallop. So just some fun things that he did this season, putting them right on the scallop. So if you have not tried the scallops, those come in a 12-pack. Let's see, what else can we press? I'm going to press a little bit larger item, assuming a lot of you have the same press that we do. So we're going to press a dragonfly next, kind of a fun thing. This has got a grind pattern in it, so you can see that refraction of the light. And then when we add the graphic to it, that's going to make it really pop. So you want to again make sure that it fits. Sometimes if I get in a hurry, you know, if you're hanging off one side of the press or the other, in this case, we'll have to go a little bit diagonal, and even then, I think Vicki was hoping this would fit. I think if we go diagonally, we can get it. Okay, so that one was just a smidgen trickier. Just to make sure that it fits. Put our paper down on top. Again, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, medium pressure. Make double sure that I got this the right way, because you want the bracket to be up and the grind part down. So we'll get that going on there. Sorry, that made took a little more time just because it was bigger. So I just want to show some examples of, you can do some larger items. Another example of the grind pattern is a fish. So we have a Willie Wilson that's worked here roughly 15 years. He loves grinding. So that definitely, once we add the graphic, and that could be any graphic that you create. I've seen some really cool, just water looking pieces just added to the metal. So we'll press this one next. Okay. Another example of some wind spinner designs. So there's lots of different things that you can do. This particular one is not animated, but you could do something with animation. So it's up on one side, down on the other. That's always fun. Again, with the wind spinner, it's going to shift to you flat. It's going to press flat. Just use your thumbs and bend it out. And it gives it kind of that nice, spins in the wind by itself with a swivel. The swivels come with it. Just kind of a fun thing you can do. We do sell motors, so you could have in a kid's room, for example, you could have like a mobile. You could have some a wind spinner and a motor, so you can do lots of different types of designs on that. Let's see, what else is there that you guys might want to know that's new? This is something, what we're pressing right now. It's on the press, but one thing to talk about is the ink. So if you can see where the ink is darker, that's where the part was not. So where the part is, or the metal, the ink actually turns to a gas and settles into the powder coating. So it's actually dyeing the powder coating. So that's what makes it dye sublimation. If you still see ink on the paper, that means that you're not pressing probably long enough. Could be a temperature issue, could be a pressure issue. So a few different things. Definitely would love you guys' feedback on the new receiver hitch blanks, just to see what you guys think of that. It's got a slotted hole there, so it's really easy to install, really easy to add some bling to your vehicle. Some other scallops that we did. Could be two-sided. The ones we just did now were one-sided. You know, lots of different things. This could, again, like I said, could be in a kid's room. That could just be screwed to the wall just to give some extra decor. Getting a little bit late for stocking stuffers, but we have a 3-hook stocking blank, but that could be used for coat racks, key racks, things like that. Could be lots and lots of different images. I'm gonna let this sit on there just a smidgen longer to see if I can get the paper to stick. just so we know what a paper stick looks like. I'm going to throw this fish on here so we keep the press going. So start that up again. Sometimes if you leave it, the paper sit on it too long, that can cause the paper to stick, so that's why I was just hesitating there a little bit, just to see. But you should have a pretty nice bond between the paper and the ink, so it should be a little bit sticky. Should just pull right off. And there we did get a little bit of paper stick. And so I kind of did that on purpose. So the longer, if you leave that part sit there too long, the paper can stick. But even here, you can pull it right off. If you do have problems with paper stick, just let the part cool. Like we have a couple little pieces stuck on there. But that's one common mistake, is letting the part sit too long. Windex, just water will take that off real easily when this cools. But that's an example of paper stick. And basically it's just sitting on there too long. So you can see kind of here is where the paper was sticking. And that was the part where it was left on a long time. Alright. If anybody else is on, if you could post the size of printers that you have, or even later, post it on there. Let's talk a little bit about brackets. So we have brackets that are spot welded on a lot of our wall art. And then we have usually a foot that's like a little thing that holds it off the wall. You can bend those into a U or kind of a Z, and then the same with this little foot. And it's meant to hold it off from the wall. And then we have relief cuts, so that you can bend the fins and things out to kind of make it a little bit more, the gills, make it a little more interactive. But that's kind of the fish there. Okay, got about a minute left on that, and that might wrap it up for today. Just if there's any other questions that people may have. Definitely want to take advantage of this if you can. The free license plate with purchases over $75. You do not need a code for that. We do have some nice tips and tricks that kind of come with each of your orders. Talks about whether you have a pneumatic press or a manual press, which what we have here is a manual. In the back we have a pneumatic press. There's some times and temperatures in there. There's a YouTube channel. So we do have a YouTube channel. You can go out and watch how to bend a wind spinner. Lots of different types of things. Again, remember, if you are interested in selling our products wholesale, which we are coming out with our new catalog, but here's our wholesale catalog. We got lots and different sizes, so it's fairly common that we will have people that have printers and presses, but they can only press something that's 12 by 16 or 16 by 20. And so therefore they get some stuff from us, and it kind of adds to their designs. So let's grab this off from here. And as you notice, I left it on there just a little bit longer too. It is fairly forgiving. Should be able to pull it right off. Voila. I love the blues always on the metal, kind of really shines. Again, we're going to bend the bracket just so you can see it. So I'm going to bend it. It does not have to be hot to bend these. There's bending instructions come with the part. Bends right around into a U. You can bend this out at a 90. You can bend out the gills. So remember, it's metal, so you can kind of shape this thing. You can bend the water, gives it some look. There's a nice looking bass by our artist over in Spain, Jose Cano. He's got a lot of cool things that he's done for us. Appreciate it, you guys joining me. Thank you for your business. If you have any questions, my phone number and stuff is out there. Our main number, the email. My office number is 5948. If you are interested in wholesale, there's my email and number. Happy holidays. Reach out to us. Wish you and your family a blessed holiday season. Safe travels if you are traveling. And thank you very much for your business and watching us. Have a great day.